The biggest drama in our home was never about curfews or clothes. It was a secret that tore us apart, a secret revealed on the morning of my daughter's prom. I woke to my teenage daughter Leia's piercing screams. I rushed into her room, my heart in my throat, and froze. Her beautiful blonde hair was scattered across the pillow, her head completely bald. Standing nearby in unicorn pajamas was her little sister, Mia, with an electric razor on the nightstand. She looked at me and confessed something that would unravel everything. I had to stop her from going to prom, she said, her voice small but firm. I knew he was going to hurt her. Leia was sobbing, a hand running over her scalp as she stared at her reflection in the bathroom mirror. Prom was just 7 hours away, and she was supposed to be a shoe-in for queen. Her night was completely ruined. My husband found Mia sitting on her bed, clutching his razor. "Mia, what did you do?" he asked gently. Before she could answer, the doorbell rang. It was Dylan, Leia's boyfriend, letting himself in, as he always did on Saturday mornings. He came upstairs calling out, "What color corsage do you want?" but stopped dead when he saw Leia's head. "What the hell happened to your hair?" he demanded. He tried to fake concern, saying, "Baby, don't cry. We can fix this. You'll still be the prettiest girl there," but his voice was strained. He yanked Leia toward him and glared at me. "Did Mia do this? That kid is weird. This is assault, Mrs. Adams." Mia, still in her pajamas, walked into the bathroom doorway. "I did it so she couldn't go with you, because you're mean to her." Before I could scold her, she continued, "You always hurt my sister. I can see the bruises on her arms where you grab her too hard." The bathroom went silent. Dylan laughed nervously. "Kids make up crazy stories. Right, Leia? Tell your mom how good I am to you." Leia wouldn't look at anyone. A cold dread settled over me. "I took pictures on Mommy's phone while she was sleeping," Mia continued, her voice rising. "You push her into walls and hit her tummy where no one can see. And then you buy her presents so she won't tell." My hand shaking, I picked up my phone. There were close-ups of Leia's arms with finger-shaped bruises and dark purple marks on her ribs. "Oh my God," I whispered. "Leia, is this true?" Dylan's face flushed. "Those could be from anything. She plays sports. This is insane. One spent hundreds on her. I'm taking her to prom in a limo." My husband came to the doorway, his body tensed as he looked at the photos. "Leia, baby, why didn't you tell me?" His voice cracked. Dylan's grip on Leia tightened. "We're leaving right now. This is ridiculous. She can't go anywhere if she's embarrassed about her hair," Mia stated simply. "That's why I shaved it off, so she'd have to stay home safe." Dylan's tone shifted, becoming falsely sweet. "Mia, sometimes Leia and I play rough when we're having fun. It's not abuse, it's just passion. You're too young to understand boyfriend-girlfriend stuff." My husband moved into the bathroom. "Let go of my daughter right now." But Mia wasn't finished. "And you did this too." She held up a small pink tape recorder. Dylan's voice, clear but quiet, came through. "Yeah, tomorrow night after prom," he said. "I'm gonna get her absolutely trashed at Jake's after-party, so she can't say no this time. My brother already gave me the ingredients for her drink, and it's time to lock that down before college. Nothing keeps a girl around like getting her pregnant." I felt my stomach churn. Leia made a strangled sound and tried to pull away from Dylan, but he held on tighter. "That's not real," Dylan stammered, sweat beading on his forehead. "That's not even my voice. You were going to drug my daughter?" I asked quietly, my whole body shaking with rage. Dylan released Leah. He started to back up, but my husband moved faster, blocking the only exit. "You don't want to do this," Dylan said, trying to sound tough, but his voice cracked. "My father is a lawyer. If you touch me, he'll ruin your family." My husband took another step forward, but then Dylan's expression changed. He looked at my husband and said in the coldest voice I've ever heard, "I don't think you want to do that, Mr. Adams, and I think you know why." My husband's face went white. An icy feeling spread through my gut. Whatever this was, it terrified my husband. The bathroom felt too small. I could hear Leah's ragged breathing behind me. My husband took a step back, and Dylan's smile widened. With trembling hands, I pulled out my phone and hit record, holding it up so Dylan could see the red light. "Leave our house right now, or I'm calling 911, I warned, my voice more steady than I felt. Dylan just laughed, claiming his father would destroy us. Then he shoved my husband, who stumbled against the wall. I kept recording as Dylan stormed down the stairs, knocking our family photos off the wall. The front door slammed, and his car tires screeched as he drove away. My husband returned, his face pale. We gathered in the master bedroom, where he finally confessed. 2 weeks ago, he had seen bruises on Leah's wrist and confronted Dylan at school. He admitted to grabbing Dylan by the shirt, slamming him against his car, and threatening to kill him. Dylan had recorded the entire incident on his phone and threatened to press charges if my husband ever interfered again. My anger flared, but my husband was right. Dylan's father was a ruthless lawyer. Still, we had to go to the police. We called the non-emergency line, and an officer arrived to take our statements. I played Mia's recording, and the officer's expression hardened. We handed over screenshots of Leah's text messages, which showed Dylan controlling her, blaming her for his anger, and threatening to tell everyone she was worthless if she left him. The police called in a detective, and we went to the hospital to have Leah's injuries documented. The doctor found 17 separate bruises, some new, some fading. She told us Dylan would punch her in the stomach so no one could see. A social worker gave us information on domestic violence resources and explained that the hospital had to report it, which we had already done. As we were signing the discharge papers, my husband's phone rang. It was Richard Frank, Dylan's father. My husband put him on speaker. Richard's voice was loud and aggressive, threatening to sue us for defamation and assault. The social worker quickly took out her phone and started recording Richard's outburst. My husband hung up, and the social worker said she would add the audio to the file as proof of witness intimidation. When we arrived home, we saw Dylan's black car parked across the street. I immediately called Detective Bennett, who told us to drive past and wait for officers to arrive. They found Dylan and warned him to stay away. The next day, Detective Bennett called to say they had found pills under the driver's seat of his car. She was getting a warrant to search his phone and car, and Dylan was later charged with possession of a controlled substance and conspiracy to commit sexual assault. 3 days later, we sat in a courtroom for an emergency protective order. Leah shook as she told her story. The judge listened to Mia's recording and immediately granted the restraining order. The school held its own disciplinary hearing, and suspended Dylan, barring him from campus. Leah began therapy, slowly learning to trust herself again. The therapist told us that Mia's protective instincts, while extreme, were born out of love and fear. She had been carrying the weight of the abuse for months, and shaving Leah's head was the only way she could think to keep her safe. The family started attending therapy together, learning to have difficult conversations and rebuild trust. We had family check-ins every night, and I learned to look for signs I had missed before. My husband dealt with his guilt, and Mia found a way to apologize to Leah by writing a letter and volunteering at a domestic abuse shelter. Mia's child detective skills proved invaluable. She was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Weeks later, 2 more girls came forward with similar stories about Dylan. The prosecutor decided to file additional charges. When Leah heard she might have to testify, her body tensed, but she soon decided she wanted to do it. She said other girls needed to know they could speak up, and she wasn't going to let Dylan silence her anymore. 6 months after Mia shaved Leah's head, the criminal trial began. The prosecution presented all of our evidence, including the bruises, Mia's recording, the drugs found in the car, and testimony from the other girls. When it was her turn to testify, Leah walked to the witness stand in her prom dress, her head held high. Her voice shook, but she described the abuse, the constant fear, and how Dylan made her feel worthless. Then Mia took the stand. In her prettiest unicorn dress, she told the court why she recorded Dylan, because adults don't always believe children. The jury was appalled by the recording, and 2 days later they found Dylan guilty on all major charges. He was sentenced to 2 years in juvenile jail with 3 years of probation. Leah's graduation day came with beautiful weather. Her hair had grown into a short, stylish pixie cut that she had grown to love. She walked across the stage as salutatorian to wild applause. Her speech was about finding strength in unexpected places and realizing that asking for help is the bravest thing you can do. She thanked Mia by name for saving her life. Her words brought my youngest daughter to tears. That summer she began a self-defense class and chose a college far enough away to be independent, but close enough to come home. She chose bright colors for her dorm room and put up a photo of our family on her desk. The night before she left for college, I found her curled up in Mia's bed, just as they had done when they were younger.